Conquered by Fog. The large woman carrying a chihuahua came in between Rita's eyes and the informative signs. The little dog growled, terrified, while its owner rattled the clinic door with hands too round or too clumsy. When she finally mastered the proper motions and left, the glass panel diverged a ray of sun towards Rita's pupils, illuminating the long-time silence memory the posters on the wall had already triggered. The problem was not that they did not know. The problem was that when they got to know, when the only enlightening one had come back to unveil the truth for them, they had chosen to remain inside the cave, mesmerized by the shadows, engulfed by darkness, as if they had chosen not to see. What people choose not to believe is usually more interesting and ironic than whatever fantasy they decide to follow for life. Rita had always interpreted the drama of Plato's allegory that way, and she wondered often what a strange switch makes souls turn into the rocky surface instead of accepting the blinding truth of the sun. To her, it was the allegory of choosing a lie even when confronted with clear evidence, the most voluntary and tenacious form of belief. The acceptance of the unreal, dancing shadows coming off the wall because the fear of the real light might show our own disgusting insignificance. She could still see the look of offended pride from Professor Loret when she dared to express the thought, followed by some regards of disdain and boredom from her classmates of Introduction to Philosophy. As a freshman, taking one of those proemial classes that the pompous hunger for intellectuality had pushed her to attend, Rita had defied her professor, who had reacted in a belligerent manner, probably more out of tiredness than defeat. "Mrs. Tilleman, the doctor is ready. Second room to your right, please." Rita's mind crawled back from the safety of the images on the clinic walls and her early years untangling Plato's myth of caves and fires. All those posters of dog eyes, the naked anatomy wisely hidden under the furry lids, those cavernous pupils, open wells of black depth surrounded by caramel irises, magic lanterns of wonder and love. Piper's pupils had long ago stopped being such mirrors of the night. Nowadays, her eyes seemed more like the highest caverns that Rita had seen in Granada, in the gardens of Sacromonte, the ones far up in the hills where the gypsies lived, curtained by clouds to veil the entrance of their abode, made of rock and stalagmites. Milky and hollow were the eyes of Rita's dog today, the happy eyes about to get a verdict from Dr. Douglas in Lexington, the eminence in veterinarian ophthalmology. 7 miles away from home to hear the death sentence of a Labrador's sight, Piper's panting had started accelerating, echoing the anxiety of the animal and the dread of a woman's heart. "Mrs. Tilleman, Piper," Dr. Douglas petted the dog's left ear, the one that always looked a little tired, crooked. "Very nice to meet you. We have some news." "Hello." Rita put her purse on a low chair and looked up at the doctor with straightened lips that wanted to mock a smile. Well, as Dr. Reed suspected, and she was right to refer you to our office, Piper has become totally blind. She may have been this way for the last 4 to 6 months. Rita squeezed Piper's blue leash as if the pressure of her hand on the leather could restrain imminent sobs. "Totally? Not even shadows? Is there anything she can see? I swear she—" "Yes, I know," Dr. Douglas said very matter-of-factly while Rita frowned. "We hear that all the time. She's not stumbling upon things. She knows where everything is. But animals are very good at hiding their losses, at compensating, you know. Much better than humans, to tell you the truth." Rita did not like the pedagogic tone. She felt the same pang of disgust that Professor Loret had seeded so many years ago. "Will she be okay? how can I help her? Do we need to prepare the house in a certain way? There's nothing you can do. First, because you didn't when you didn't know, and Piper was fine. Sometimes we're wiser when we don't know. Second, because dogs see with their noses more than with their eyes. Smells are her colors. For her, every object, every being is the added olfactory trails provoked by every one of its atoms. I'm not sure I follow you. For her, you are the fragrance of your hair, the sweat of your hands, the scent of grass in the hem of your skirt. She can also smell your emotions. She can see you and me much deeper than with her eyes. She will be fine, Mrs. Tilleman, but remember, she can also sense your sorrow. Just give her 2 extra treats every day in memory of her beautiful eyes conquered by fog. Driving back to Concord, grabbing the wheel with the same desperation as she had held her dog's leash, Rita wondered if Piper could smell the salt in the tears falling on her green skirt. And against all the Platonic rules, Rita chose to believe that everything was as it has always been, that her old dog was not blind, and that she would never die. Piper, released from the mythological labyrinth of wisdom, did not have to choose. She kept snoring in the back seat, her left ear canopying over one dead caramel eye.